Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another CounterSide video. Yes, I'm still playing, don't worry. Alright, I know I've been making a lots of Brown Dust 2 videos lately. But yeah, I saw that there is a new what do you call that, roadmap upcoming for the global server. So figured I'll check it out, talk a little bit about my thoughts regarding Awaken Chifuyu and whether or not you guys should be pulling for her. Now this is going to be something that's basically my opinion, alright? So if you guys are here, hopefully, you know, try and take it with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, I'm not like the super expert when it comes to things, but I try my best to hopefully make you guys make hopefully the best decision for your own account, right? So if you guys haven't seen it already, this is going to be what is coming in July, alright? The entirety of the month of July for global server. As you can see right here, plenty of characters. It might look like there's a lot of things going on, but you only need to pay attention to a couple of them. Number one is going to be Awaken Chifuyu. Alright, so they have announced this before. We're going to have Awaken Chifuyu in global server. So Awaken Chifuyu is going to be probably a very prominent Awaken character. I think she's going to be worthwhile if you are pulling with your black tickets. Make sure you guys decide carefully, either between Awaken Chifuyu. I'm going to assume that the next character after her is going to be Awaken Regina. So maybe I'll do a separate video comparing between those two. But I can tell you wholeheartedly, I definitely prefer Awaken Chifuyu. If your account is new, I think Awaken Chifuyu is going to be slightly more beneficial than Awaken Regina. I don't really see the value in her much in a lot of PvE stages. Outside of raids, right? Raids, sure, you can benefit from what she can apply in terms of her damage, ultimate skill damage, incoming damage taken. You can do a lot of things with that. But if you are just using her in regular story, in some stages, most of the time, you ideally want to just use REARMED Estarossa because that girl is way cheaper and she have similar tanking capabilities as well, alongside with REARMED Orca as well. And also we have Christina Bragg right here, a new unit. We will also talk about REARMED CHINATSU. Okay, so let's talk about it. First things first, I think we'll just jump into Christina first because she's going to be the more obvious character choices, right? If you guys are not aware, let me jump into my management. I'm going to bring her up. Christina is a very unique PvP based ranger. Alright, she's a ranger. She is a 4-cost character. She's going to be a little bit expensive compared to 3 costs. Now, do you need to have her? Do you want to pull for her? In my humble opinion, my advice is no, especially for global server where a lot of players already have access to REARMED Gayun. Now, unless REARMED Gayun is banned, sure, she might be useful there, but a lot of rangers, for example, my preferred ranger in general for PvP is going to be Liuri, Gayun, and sometimes maybe Carl Wong, depending. Carl Wong seems to have fallen off a little bit, but I would say those two, Admin Rifleman is going to be my go-to most of the time, right? And also sometimes REARMED Han Sorim to a certain extent. I would say Christina is not going to be my top priority in terms of like ranger. She's much more like in the middle tier compared to like Orochi, maybe sometimes even like, what's even a good ranger for PvP, right? If you look at this, Orochi, Lucretia is going to be a ranger, but she's much more like niche in terms of what she can do. But you can see she's definitely going to be less sought after. Yeah, I think she's much more comparable to Orochi and Rosaria, but she's a little bit finicky, right? She has this very unique mechanic where, if you notice right here, if somebody in your team dies, it reduces her cooldown of her ultimate skill by 2 seconds, right? It doesn't include summon. That's number one thing on her passive skill. Special skill, you can see, she will always run away from the enemy, which is very, very kind of unique in a way, grants perfect evasion for skill duration. So instead of damage, she has decent damage, but she's much more of the survivability. Alright, in terms of the character, she can always run away from the danger and give her a little bit of extra survivability in terms of just like, instead of just getting shut down and getting one-shotted by enemy striker, something to consider. Right, for the ultimate skill, you can see enemies within range take regional damage based on their location. She will basically do a bunch of damage like an AoE style, and then she also gets 2 deployment resource recovery while moving to the ship location. Let's show you guys a little bit of what she can do. Now, if you're worried about PvE, don't worry, she will not be used in PvE at all. I don't think I have one stage that you will be able to benefit her from. In terms of like raw damage, Admin Rifleman just does way more, even though she's a 4 cost, right? But like I mentioned, if you're using her most likely for PvP, it's going to be for this particular case. When enemy is deployed, if she sees an enemy, she will run away from them. So that's something that, you know, very unique to her, and I believe there's no other ranger that has the ability to like sort of escape or run away. So this is her ultimate skill. You can see an area, I believe it hits randomly, right? So that's something to consider as well. She is 4 cost, still going to be a little bit hard to use, so compared to a lot of other rangers, she might not be the highest tier. Now let's talk about REARMED CHINATSU though. Now this is going to be much more important. I think REARMED CHINATSU is where the money is at. Man, REARMED CHINATSU is really toxic in PvP. I can't even fathom it's so annoying to fight her. Like, I feel like if you want to tackle her, you gotta have something like heal reflux, or maybe something that can prevent enemy from healing, because it's really annoying. So REARMED CHINATSU has this leader skill, if you guys are not aware. So I'm just gonna read it out for you guys. Damage reduction plus 3% to nearby allies near the blooming Moonlight Blossom. And also defense minus 10% to nearby enemies for whoever that's near this Moonlight Blossom. So what is this Moonlight Blossom thing? This is her passive skill. Basically, when you deploy her, she has this 15% damage reduction. If an enemy gets hit from CHINATSU and dies, a Moonlight Blossom is created on the spot for 20 seconds that periodically heals 1.25% HP for nearby allies. Alright, you can have up to 2 Moonlight Blossoms. So this is very annoying. She also has an ability on the ultimate skill where she can now self-sustain. She can include herself. She can heal herself right now. 15% HP to self, 30% HP to all allies. And also it gives defense buff to them and make them super tanky as well. REARMED CHINATSU sort of fit a lot of teams right now. She's like I would say she's a go-to. If you are playing PvP, she's pretty much the go-to supporter. It feels like it used to be like Young Harem when the game first started out, but right now REARMED CHINATSU is like the meta. If you care a lot about PvP, I would definitely highly recommend to get her for REARMED. She's also good in PvE as well, right? So that's something to consider. Now, next, let's talk about the last main highlight, Awaken Chifuyu. Alright, this is where she is. Now let's talk a little bit, let's be honest with what Awaken Chifuyu can do, right? Again, I want to highlight her skills. She has immortality. Alright, right here you can see. For 5 seconds when HP drops below 1%, she will gain this immortality. And depending on the level, when she drops between certain tier, 70%, 40%, 10%, she basically has an extra, basically perks, right? Chifuyu obtains attack plus 15%, and depending on which one she is, level 1, immune to hit stun, level 2 adds blindness, level 3, she's immune to skill steal. Alright, this is going to be very good in PvP, of course. I think she's really strong in PvP because of all of this ability, but I just don't think that you need her per se as much in PvE. Although she does have the ability to inflict minus 50% evasion and hit. Alright, and last but not least is this particular ultimate skill. Her highlight is going to be from her damage. She does a lot of damage, and also she has the ability to increase damage taken amplification by 40%. Now, definitely she is not going to be super crucial in my humble opinion in a lot of stages, but having her definitely do make things slightly easier. I still prefer cheaper cost units like REARMED Estarossa or REARMED Orca to a certain extent, and I still prefer to use, like, in terms of Awaken, I would rather, you know, put them on the rangers or snipers so that I get more damage ideally. But that's just my preference. It really depends on how you look at things and what's your team right now. I feel like Awaken Chifuyu, she's going to be probably the best Awaken to obtain for like these next few batch, right? After Awaken Regina, you guys are probably going to have Lyudmila is not that important. Rosara is also going to be quite strong. There's also something to consider. But Rosara is most likely going to be something that you guys also have to consider as an option. yeah, by then you gotta decide. If you have limited tickets, do you want to pull for Awaken Chifuyu or Awaken Rosera? Personally, between these two, I will go Awaken Rosera. But between Awaken Chifuyu and Awaken Regina, I will go Awaken Chifuyu. So that's something that, you know, I think we just gotta wait. I don't know who is next. Most likely Regina first, then Rosara later on. Then Lyudmila, maybe you can skip because there's a very PvP heavy unit. And then I'm not sure if the collab is happening or not. No news yet for global server, sadly. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Awaken Chifuyu. If you guys are pulling, maybe just wait a little bit and see what's the news, what's the next Awaken for global. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, give this video a like. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.